Welcome to We Learn. This is session 7, part 2. Today we are going to cover different topics like knowledge harvesting, 8-step process of knowledge harvesting, which will be the part of today's session, how AAR review is conducted, what are the steps in starting up a community of a practice, peer assistant will be the part of today's session. Then we will cover the knowledge model, tools, interaction with the knowledge will be the part of today's session, and different application areas where the knowledge can be applied. 3-tier framework, complex adaptive system will be the part of today's session. Decision execution cycle, problems recognition, distributed organizational knowledge base, and knowledge life cycle and business process and processing environment. And at last we will cover the matches and mismatches of the DEC and the types of knowledge and how this has the impact, right? So let us start the first topic of today's session, that is knowledge harvesting. In the previous section we have just covered a term that what was exactly the knowledge harvesting. Now in this part 2 of session 7 we are going to cover the knowledge harvesting in very detail. So the ultimate goal of knowledge harvesting is to capture an individual's decision making process with enough clarity that someone else guided it could repeat the steps of the process and achieve the same result. अगर किसी पर्सन या किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के किसी पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस से उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कुछ एडवांटेज अचीव हुआ है and that advantage is basically achieved because of some decision making process of that individual, so that process in sequential steps can be captured for future use, so that हम भी उन्हीं steps को follow करके near future में same result achieve कर सकें. This process of storing that sequential steps so that the same can be repeated for getting the same result even, this process is basically called as a knowledge harvesting. Knowledge harvesting is one way to capture document and subsequently use the knowledge of expert and other top performers. उस process को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Knowledge harvesting. So it is a basically way to capitalize on the knowledge of our organization's expert. आप उसको एक capital assets बना के रख सकते हैं, so that that can be used in the near part of the future, right? It is basically a way to find what is in their heads and then share it with others in an accessible and understandable format, right? How do we make unspoken knowledge? This is the part of knowledge harvesting. उसको स्टोर करके रखना so that near future में we can make use of that expert knowledge, right? So there are basically 8 steps for harvesting the knowledge, and thus this includes that firstly you need to focus on that knowledge that you want to capture, that you want to harvest basically. Then find the ways to capture that knowledge, then detail that knowledge, organize that knowledge in a particular order, in a particular sequence, then keep the related data or related information in the form of a package. When the package of information or knowledge is there, then you can share this knowledge with that of the other peers, and at last you should apply it. Whatever knowledge you have harvested from the knowledge of other people, other process, other technology, that you must apply to your domain, and then you should evaluate and adapt accordingly. Evaluate in terms of pros and cons, in terms of merit demerit, in terms of advantage disadvantage, in terms of profit and loss, and then make organization to be adaptive according to that criteria. So these are these 7 steps that focus, find, detail, organize, package, share, apply, evaluate and adapt. They all comes under the knowledge harvesting. Now let us discuss the formal process of after action review. The after action review process basically involves several processes. First is planning the AAR, that is after action review. It involves that you must identify that what will be reviewed. It means we have to basically identify those events and those activities which should be reviewed. Then identify when it will occur and who will attend and where it will be held. कौन करेगा, कब करेगा, कहाँ करेगा, कैसे करेगा. Determine how its result will fed into core programming. This was the things that were covered in the first part, that was the planning the AAR. In the second part, that is preparing for the AAR. It means you need to select a trusted facilitator. That could be any project staff or it could be from outside consultant. Create necessary material that will be provided as a background for understanding that how the dialogue will influence the programming. Then obtain the input from the core team. वो टीम जो एग्जैक्टली इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है आप उससे इनपुट डिराइव करोगे when you will prepare for the AAR, that is after action review. In the third step you will actually conduct the AAR or after action review. In this conduction process you need to achieve the maximum participation. You have to ensure that candidate must be professional, must follow the professional dialogue, and they should focus on to the learning part and understand that what happened with the goal of improving the organization. Maintain a record of the discussion, and this record should be of confidential type. Then create the recommendation for action. What corresponding action should be taken place? That should be the part of recommendation and it should be kept confidential. Then take a follow up on the AAR. Whatever you have conducted, that need to be followed. So converse with the senior management by meetings to discuss AAR findings, implement recommendation, determine follow up schedules, then document and learn lesson about the AAR process itself, so that improvement can be achieved for the next time. Right? So in this way AAR or after action review is formally conducted basically. Right? Further we are going to cover some steps in the starting up of a community of practice. It means we have to set some preliminaries. That preliminaries will undergo some startup phase of implementation. Then behaviors and activities will be the output part. While talking about the preliminaries, it means you have to identify the champions and sponsors. Then pick up a point in terms of problem, practice, process. Then prepare a business case. All these things are done under the preliminary part. Then present a proposal that where resources or support will be needed, and that proposal should highlight the values, benefits, sponsorships, supports, interaction, outcomes, and then select the members. You have to prepare the list for the members, then get organized. All these things that we have covered right now, they all comes under the preliminary part of the community of practice that you want to build up, that you want to start. In the startup phase, you have to set the agendas, and agenda should cover some issues, some interests, some problem, some goals, some outcome. Then devise the interaction mode, that how the things will be done basically in terms of interaction mode. This interaction mode could be like email, it could be face to face meetings. Some meeting will be scheduled, some will be unscheduled, some virtual meeting by teleconferencing and all. Telephonically discussion हो सकता है, conference call के through, video conferencing के through. So these are the different interaction modes. Then confirm and secure the support requirements in terms of technology, resources, and then get underway. Now, while implementing this community of practice, the output will be the behaviors and the activities. It means share experience and knowledge, discuss common issues and interest, collaborate in solving problems first, analyze the causes and the contributing factor, then experiment with new ideas and novel approaches, capture, codify new knowledge, and evaluate action and effects and learn. Next, we are going to cover the peer assistant. Peer assistant means we are having basically the steps in conducting a peer assistant. That firstly you need to specify the purpose, background researches, facilitators who are going to conduct this, timing, participants, deliverables, socializing, ground rules, context in which you are going to provide the peer assistant, questions, feedback, analysis, and then at last actions. So all these steps need to be followed for conducting a peer assistant. Out of all these steps, the deliverables plays a very important role in the peer assistant, because deliverables means know what is wanted and plan accordingly. Deliverables should be options and insight as opposed to the answer, right? So next we are going to discuss about the knowledge model. Knowledge model basically consists of four important parts. Knowledge model focus on the first part is creation of the knowledge, then utilization of the knowledge, then transfer of the knowledge, and then at last retention of the knowledge. If you want to build any knowledge base of or knowledge, if you want to manage the knowledge of any organization, you need to firstly create the knowledge, then utilize the knowledge, then transfer this knowledge across different part of the same organization or across different organization also. So and then at last retain this knowledge for your own purpose. This gives rise to the general knowledge model. We can make use of different tools to interact with the knowledge base. We can make use of the technology, we can make use of the transfer media, explicit, unspoken knowledge, practice can be done, some artifacts can be used. These are the acting as a tools that can be used with the knowledge. Now there are some application areas that basically covers the knowledge management. Knowledge management is what basically it's a kind of management solution. It's a framework that can be used in the following ways to support the internal development effort. So maintaining a knowledge base of any company means you are going to support the internal development efforts. In this, what we are going to do first part says that mapping the specific tools and technologies according to their potentials, roles in the knowledge flows. Then identifying functional gaps, determining integration points, and then validating the scope of development effort that seek to extend base technologies with application specific functionality. When we talk about the three-tier framework of knowledge management, then first thing is that manage the knowledge first, then focus on to the knowledge management outcomes, and for that getting any outcome from the knowledge management you need to develop the environment first by building strategies, policies, rules, infrastructure, learning program, innovation. You can build such an environment so that knowledge management outcomes can be achieved. Then it gives rise to the knowledge processing. For knowledge processing you have to build up the business strategies, organizational models, business processes, product strategies, marketing strategies, HR strategies, so that knowledge can be processed, and accordingly the knowledge processing outcome will come out. Again, for that purpose you need to manage the environment of knowledge processing. Previously it was the environment of knowledge management, and now we are talking about the knowledge processing environment. Then at the third level or third tier, the things that comes out is business processing, and business is processed in terms of profitability, market share, growth, ethics and sustainability, right? So business outcome can be evaluated by business processing environment. So this three tier framework of knowledge management gives you a view that how the things can be actually implemented, because there is a complex adaptive system where there is a network of goal, some social ecological conditions are there, cultural conditions are there, geophysical conditions are there, ecological conditions are there, and we require some agent behavioral process to get the benefit of this scenario, and this can be produced with the help of CAS, that is complex adaptive system, right? Then problem recognition involves, if we want to identify any problem, then for that purpose what you need to do, you need to firstly monitor the problem, evaluate the knowledge base of that thing, then plan and make the decision making, and then take the corresponding action. In this way we can identify the problem, right? With this we are going to finish this session. Thank you.